In this video, I'll show you exactly how to close a 9,000 sale in the DMs without sales calls, without webinars. This is Zesty Chris. I've closed more than 22 million in sales online. Let's dig in. So the sales conversation starts with a Pookie reaching out to a broadcast that we sent out. He replies back with coach. And we're gonna qualify the Pookie by asking, good to hear from you. I'll send the details. I wanna make sure I can help. Give me an idea about the business, revenue, team size. Revenue is 1.7 million a year. I just acquired a commercial door repair company and I'm looking to scale it quickly and wisely. At this point, we wanna paint a vision of heaven for the Pookie. We wanna make sure that they see a bright future of their goals, their achievements, what they want to accomplish. That's what we call building the gap. And that's why I asked him, so you're into commercial door repair, 1.7 million, team of 6. So if we were to work together, what are the ideal outcomes in the next 12 months? Honestly, my hope is to double revenue this year. In the 38 years in operations, this company has never hit the 2 million mark. I want to introduce a sales system, so we're reaching out. I want to land huge clients at hospitals, hotels, school districts, cities. Now we'll summarize. Let's do 2.5 million for sure, so we can turn the page. Now, what have you done so far when it comes to the sales system? He says, so far nothing. I see. So it sounds like there's opportunity we're leaving on the table then. I asked that because I want to verify and admit his problems. He says, absolutely. Ideally, since the business is primed to grow, Growth Engine will help. Now, we want to make the person curious. So we open a curiosity gap and we say, Growth Engine will help. It's a reach and reputation game right now. I'm at 2 million a month revenue, just content. I can show you social is a goldmine. What else would you change to move faster? We asked that to find another ouchie, to find another problem. And now he says, I would also change operations internally to make sure we keep up with the demand and get estimates out faster, materials quicker, and jobs done sooner. I want to probe around the specific problem that he mentions, and that's why I ask, oh, what's slowing down operations right now? He replies and he says he's working to transition the business from doing everything with paper to digital. And I comment on that and I say, cleaning things up, what's falling through the cracks right now? I'm asking that to get very specific and clear on his challenges and what he's struggling with. And he says, well, what we struggle the most is speed. And I reply, speed matters. I want to make sure I always echo back what he's telling me. With AI, everything's 10x in speed. So overall, what have you done when it comes to AI? I'm asking this question to create two things. Number one, his top of mind awareness is AI. Everyone's talking about AI right now. And number two, because it's something that I help people with, I want to make him aware around, hey, this person is asking me about AI, so he has a solution. I want to make this connection in his brain. And he says, I'm in the process of rolling out an AI receptionist and all of these things, but I want to one-up his efforts. Because if I just accept what he's telling me at face value, he's not going to need help with that. So I want to one-up what he's saying, and that's why I say, well, the past 2 weeks I did a hackathon that lasted 2 days. Everyone in my team had to develop a tool that makes them more efficient. Now the business is 2 to 3 times more efficient across the board. I have deployed 300 plus agents the past 14 days. All of these are credibility statements to get him to salivate about what's really possible. And that's why I'm asking, are you working with a coach right now to help you grow? Because I want to move him from talking about problems, to what he has done so far when it comes to solutions. Well, that's really cool. He says, I'm not really working with a coach. And I'm asking, how come? The right coach compresses years into months. Do you resonate with my content and what I have to say? And he says, oh, you didn't get my message? And he sends a long message, essentially around him being coachable and him resonating with what we have to say. So I'll just move on. And in this stage, since he mentioned something about acquisitions, I'll just validate and say, oh, we acquire 1 business a month, so I can definitely help you with that, and I offer help. So this is the transitional stage you can make to go from discovery to presentation. So I make the offer and I ask him, where would you like to go from here? And that's where the objection handling begins. And he says, I'm reviewing and considering options. I have a lot of things to consider before officially deciding. So now we have a Pookie that's very confused. Like, he doesn't know what to do. He's exploring options. So he's essentially giving us a think about it objection. Now, we're gonna get what I call consent. Like, we wanna make sure that we eliminate the value objection. So we're asking him, overall, what's coming up to give you clarity here? Well, first of all, I'm hoping for a couple of jobs to be signed. So number one, it's a money objection. It has nothing to do with options. And we found the real objection, which is figuring out the budget to do something like this. Now, we'll isolate the objection, and that's why we ask, besides figuring out the money, do you feel I can get you to where you want to go? And he says, I'm pretty sure. I know you have a big emphasis on AI, and I would love to figure out how to streamline our processes, especially in the accounting department, to let AI save us time. He also has a buyer question that says, what kind of things would you be able to help me with my type of service businesses? He asks that because he's asking for certainty right now. We're going from think about it to getting closer to the sale, but I want to inject urgency at this point. And that's why I asked, well, you mentioned that you need a sales system and hiring, right? Yes, definitely a sales system, and I'm planning to hire a new person. So I'm gonna respond back and inject certainty by mentioning specifically how we fix his challenges. We're gonna cover essentially two different frameworks. We'll deploy the growth engine and the hiring funnel. So, and now that I know that there's no value objection, I'm gonna sweeten the deal. And I'm going to essentially downsell to a smaller plan. And I'll say, if we get started with a 2-month plan at 4,500, get wins, build momentum, would that help you so you don't have to postpone your growth? Now he has more buying questions. I read the doc, but I don't fully grasp what's included. And I'll reply, but in a way that, again, it pushes the ball forward. It injects more certainty. And that's why I say it includes weekly calls with me, all my playbooks, and a community with high achievers. Show up, do what I tell you, and I don't let my people fail on the inside. Are you in? I ask for the sale at this point because we're very close. And he says he has more doubts. Do you have any other service businesses like construction, trade businesses you're working on now? I reply, yes, otherwise I wouldn't have offered. So at this point, I know that the offer owner has something relevant, a credible point that I can mention. And that's why I say, my brother's the biggest builder in East Canada. I'm a co-founder of that business, so it's right up my alley. And he's like, let me just talk to my accountant. But he still has a consideration around timing, like he's still holding himself back. But if I just let him go, he's not gonna buy. He's gonna go to his accountant. The accountant is gonna say, oh, you don't have the money to do this. And the sale is dead. So here's what I do to fix that. I say, can I make a suggestion here? Sure. He has a timing objection. So how we'll handle it is, the timing is never right. It's just like having a baby, never the perfect time, but when it happens, you make time for it. So what we're doing now is you're negotiating with yourself using future you as an excuse. So can I challenge you enough to believe in yourself enough and show up now so we can get to work scaling your business? And he says he's still fearful. I totally understand where you're coming from. Can you help me understand what's the first thing that we'll focus on? I put it in bullets, and you'll see double revenue, introduce a sales system, hire multiple people, acquiring multiple businesses, in that order. So are you against getting started so we can work together? Man, that sounds great. When is the first meeting? He's very close, but you'll see what happens next. We'll start right away, next call tomorrow, and also I have some homework to send you in the meantime. And he comes back, and he's like, I'm kind of scared. I have the money. I have big goals, but I'm having a hard time biting the bullet. Do you have any advice for me while I'm in this current stage? I'm just nervous. So let's see how we handle this fear objection. I know you're nervous. It's your brain trying to keep you comfortable. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. This has nothing to do with wisdom. It's simple. Everyone has fear when they're leaving their comfort zone. It's just that one person allows fear to keep them frozen in place, never biting the bullet and allowing the what ifs to keep them stuck, or there's another person who takes action because of that fear. Because they know it's how they'll get to where they want to go, by getting uncomfortable. So who would you rather be? I let a job, I follow up twice, Jonathan ping, 24 hours apart, and he comes back and he says, I'm in. He pays. And that's exactly what we need to do to help him overcome himself. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.